Hi and welcome to another episode of Toby's Barbecue Corner. Now today we're going to be making a one-pot dish. We're going to use some Savoy cabbage, we're going to use some dare, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Now another thing, I've been asked, hey Toby, can I cook all these things that you're cooking on your barbecues also inside my regular kitchen? Of course you can. I'm going to show you that today. We're still going to be using a Dutch oven. You can use any pot you want, but it's going to be the same simple recipe. Now what you need for it and how to do it, I'm going to show you in this episode. And this is what we need for today. Now we need some dare, and this is some lovely free-range dare. What else do we need? We need some onions. Now you can use white onions, you can use red onions, whatever you have. So absolutely fine. Some Savoy cabbage, you need your favorite rub, you need some form of pasta, and you can mix whatever you have in the house. You need some white wine to go with this, some mushroom, bacon. Everything is always better with bacon. You need some flour, some sugar, some butter, some tomato paste, as well as some veggie broth. As per usual, we have some cutting to do. Now this is roughly a kg, so we won't be needing all of it. We need about 400 to 500 grams. So roughly half of one of these cabbages. And I think cabbage is a wonderful dish. And we're just going to cut it quite coarse, because we want that lovely texture. So this is pretty much how we're going to do it. And I'm going to just put it on the scale real quick, make sure we get the right amount. But you can never have enough Savoy cabbage. See, that's 300 grams, so we'll need a little bit more. And now obviously don't throw whatever you have left over away. You can make more cabbage, you can buy another cabbage and make even more cabbage. It's just absolutely lovely. Yeah, see? You can do even one more. Now obviously you don't want to eat the most inner part of it, because it's quite hard. But this is it. So this is all you need. And then very quickly with the onions, we will also just cut them up, because everything just needs to have a little bit of texture left. So don't worry about going too fine on all of this stuff. And then with the mushrooms as well, we're just going to take the dry bottom part off and then just cut them like this. Now, if you have watched my previous videos, you know, do not wash mushrooms, simply because they're like a sponge. So if there is any dirt on it, kind of like wipe it off. But if you add any water to them, they will soak that up, and then you will have quite a watery dish in the end. So you shouldn't do that. The Dutch oven is already coming up to temperature, and I've already added in about a tablespoon of cleared butter. And now we're going to throw in our dare in 2 portions and give it a bit of a sear. Once we've gotten some good color on our meat, we're going to take it out. We're going to set it aside. And I was actually able, due to the size of the Dutch oven, this is a size 9, to do all the meat in one go, which is great. And all we need for now is just a little bit of a sear, just to make sure that we got a little bit of color and some flavor on our meat. Because obviously later on it will cook all the way through. So we're going to set this aside. Now we're going to crank up the heat again, because this is obviously nice and warm on the barbecue. It will be nice and warm as well, but you want that heat. And now we're just going to put in the Savoy cabbage and give that a little bit of a sear as well, until it starts to break down. Obviously we don't want to burn it, but we want it to have some color. And obviously it's going to soak up the juices from the dare as well. While we're waiting for the cabbage to do its thing, we're actually going to start seasoning our dare. So take a good heap of your favorite barbecue rub, and then we're going to mix that all the way through and set it to the side. Reason being is we don't season it prior because obviously you don't want the rub to burn in the Dutch oven. And now the rub has really a good time to settle into the meat and marinate it all the way through. All right, let's set it to the side and make sure that our cabbage doesn't burn to the bottom. The cabbage is starting to get some really nice color. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove that as well, set it to the side, because obviously we don't want to burn it. And really make sure that you scrape off everything off the ground of the Dutch oven or the pot that you're using, simply because anything that burns obviously leaves a bitter aftertaste. Next up, we're going to add in our bacon. Not only because bacon is just great, but also to re-grease the pot. And we're going to throw in our roughly chopped up onions and give that a little bit of a sear. Once that has gotten a little bit of color, we're going to add in a good heap of tomato paste. Give that a little bit of a sear as well, until everything is nicely coated. And then we're going to throw in the mushrooms. And we give all of that a good mix and let that sear for a couple of minutes. A couple of minutes in, we're going to add in the sugar as well as the flour. Give that a thorough mix. And then we're going to deglaze it with our white wine, and we're going to use the first of the 400 mLs. Make sure that nothing sticks to the bottom, and if it does, just go to work, put in some elbow grease. Make sure that everything is nice and tidy. And as it said in the description, you need 400 mLs. So I'm going to put in a little bit more. And if it's 500 mLs, it doesn't really make a difference. Right, we're going to let that cook down until the alcohol has evaporated. And then I'll show you what to do next. After a couple of minutes, that has reduced enough, so we're going to reintroduce the meat. And obviously, all the juices it may have pushed out as well. And we're going to put in the cabbage as well. Here we go. Give that a thorough mix. Let me put on my glove for that, because obviously the Dutch oven is extremely good at transporting heat all throughout. And while we're doing this, I've already preheated the oven to 150 degrees, because we will put the Dutch oven into the oven for the next 2.5 hours. But doesn't that look already fantastic? All right, one more scrape on the bottom, make sure nothing sticks. And then we're going to add in the broth that we had prepared earlier. Make sure everything is nicely covered. Here we go. Bring it up to a boil, and then we're going to cover it. Now this is not enough water for later on, because obviously we're going to be cooking the pasta in this pot as well. So we will have to add some more water to it, but we're going to put it into our regular oven at 150 degrees for a total of 2.5 hours. But after the first hour and a half, we're going to check, that we have enough liquid in there, nothing has stuck to the bottom, and then we're going to refill if need be. There we go. For the next hour and a half, it goes in. Exactly an hour and a half later, this is what it looks like. It has lost a considerable amount of liquid, but fortunately nothing is sticking on the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in some hot water, because obviously we don't want to cool down whatever we have, and make sure it's enough for the pasta that will go in. So this is roughly another liter. If need be, we can top it up in roughly another hour. So we're going to close the lid, and then it's going to go back in the oven for another hour. Another hour later, so exactly 2.5 hours. Let's have a quick look. Still nicely bubbling away, and that should be enough liquid for our pasta, and they will nicely soak up all the juices that are in there. So let's make sure that we submerge them well. Here we go. And I love these one pot dishes. And I can tell you already, so there's nothing that got stuck on the bottom. It's super smooth. So very nicely done. So we're going to cook this now for an additional 20 minutes. And then we're ready to show you the final product. Right guys, here we are, another 20 minutes later. Let's lift the lid. Nice and steamy. The pasta has soaked up a lot of the juices. Check this out. I'm really excited, and we're gonna dig in now. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one pot dish with the deer and the Savoy cabbage. It was super delicious. The whole family loved it. It was a bit spicy in the end. I think it was the rub that made it a bit spicy, a bit peppery, but it did help with my voice a little bit. So thanks for bearing with me during the course of this video. But yeah, if you did enjoy the video, I would really appreciate a comment and a thumbs up, and please head over to that subscribe button for more great videos to come, and I hope to see you soon again at Toby's Barbecue Corner.